We all know there are multiple GenAI tools out there, like the most known ones are ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, and probably some of us heard Notebook LM. And it's quite a bit difficult task in itself to identify where should I leverage its core capabilities. That's the evolving challenge for everyone with the continuous growth in all the AI models, where each one of them trying to catch up with others in terms of what they're lacking. But there is one product from Google leveraging its Gemini model, which created a separate model altogether with a specific use case called Notebook LM. It's from Google. And Notebook LM has its own selling points. That's what we're gonna look at today. What are its unique capabilities? What are the real-time applications? Where can we make use of it? Right. That's the purpose of our discussion today. We will try to understand the Notebook LM model from Google. As I told you, Notebook LM is altogether a separate model. You can search Notebook LM in the Google. You will get URL. Then you can go to this particular domain, and there is iOS and Android apps as well, and you can download and experiment with that. Um, as I was talking about, there are multiple models out there, and each has its unique capabilities. What is of Notebook LM? Notebook LM has its unique capability in terms of providing generated answers grounded in the source of document that you provide. It doesn't hallucinate, or it doesn't refer anything different than what you have specifically given. Let's understand how it actually works through real time examples of going through Notebook LM. But there are certain unique capabilities I want to briefly highlight before we move on. To look at the tool in itself. One is with the source of document that you upload, you can generate a podcast very human-like. Uh, it kind of refer the all the documents or source of document that you provide and generate a small podcast like audio file where you can, instead of going through all the documents, you can just listen the interactive podcast. And the second one is interactive conversation. You all know all the models like ChatGPT and Perplexity have their own voice model. You can chat like a human uh, tutor, or the other side with the more powerful capability to answer any of your questions. But this is a little different. As I told you, it's more grounded in the source of documents that you upload. You can actually, in the podcast that I referred in my earlier section, you can actually be the third person in the podcast to interact and ask specific questions. And the third powerful capability that so far I didn't find, which is natively built into the app, um, is mind maps. Mind maps are very useful tool. I use it all the time to understand the complex topics, how these are interlinked, what are the parts, subparts, components of it. Uh, Notebook LLM generates this mind map with just a click of a button. And these are the new capabilities that I've come across recently. From the source of documents that you upload, it generates FAQs, study guides, briefings, timeline, etc. So useful we will exactly understand why this is so useful in our upcoming slide. You can, in a way, you can get some of this outcomes through ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other model as well. You have to give a specific prompt until you get the right answer, but all of these are available with just a click of a button in Notebook LM. And where can we use this model? There are multiple use cases, specifically for education and academic researchers, where they want to ensure their whole research is exactly grounded in set of documents they want to refer. This is highly useful. Business intelligence, market research, legal document analysis, research and knowledge management, whatever. There are multiple use cases, but one unique use case that I'm going to refer, um, that I use Notebook LM all the time is, understanding a complex document. So we'll start with one example. Just look at this. This is the podcast of Lex Fridman. This is just four hours long podcast. Think how long it's gonna take you to listen entire podcast and understand, learn from specific points that being discussed. It takes a lot of time, right? At least it took me probably more than a week time listening 30 minutes or an hour every day. That's one part of it. And trying to understand what the speaker and the guests are going to speak about, whether it's relevant to what I want to listen to or what I want to learn, is another big task. And the third challenge is there are a lot of references in such a long podcast, including the books being referred or person being referred, specific topic being discussed. You don't really get all of it. At least in this is a podcast I recommend all from Robert Breedlove uh, as a speaker and Lex Fridman show. It has a lot of philosophical, economical, uh, and lot many concepts being discussed. It was really overwhelming when I just listened to this podcast. I had to go back and refer, and Notebook LM came really, really handy. So let's see exactly how did I use this. So you click on this share button. You can copy this. This is what we're going to use. You go to Notebook LM and you hit on create new. There are multiple sources of document that you can upload. You can link your Google Drive directly or provide website or YouTube, or the text you can copy. There are multiple ways you can bring the documents that you want to refer to, or the upload the file directly, right? So it refers the document. You can add multiple sources, or you can also search multiple sources from this. So once you click on this, once the source of document that you are referring is loaded, you can change the title if needed. But this is where the core capabilities are, right? So first thing is you can generate the podcast that I was referring as a first capability. It refers to 4 hour long podcast and give you probably 10-15 minutes overview of what being discussed, and you can hit on generate, or you can customize it. You can give specific instruction in this. You want a shorter format, longer format, etc. So it's a little more specific to your need, and you can hit on generate. It takes a little while. This is one such capability I was talking about, and we'll also hit multiple capabilities here. We'll look at exactly what it is from 4 hour podcast. What do we get, right? Timeline, FAQ, so on and so forth. And another capability that I was talking about is mind map. We'll also hit the mind map one, right? So now, as it's processing, let's go back and refer what it's truly capable, which I've already generated. The first thing, out of its many capabilities are its audio overview, podcast I was referring to. Let's hit and see how it comes.
Have you ever stopped to consider that the money you use every day, the cash or the numbers on your screen, might be
Just like a human interaction, right? There are two characters who keep interacting all through 23 minutes. You can also keep it shorter or longer. And on top of this, if you want to interact and ask questions, you hit the button here. This is the second capability I was talking about, and you can play
Have you ever stopped to consider that the
and ask
money you use
questions.
every day? Oh, hey, welcome. What's up?
What is money being discussed in this podcast? Probably takes a while, or at times you need to restart.
Have you ever stopped to consider that the money? Oh, hey, our listener wants to join in. What's up?
Hey, can you tell me the concept of money being discussed in this podcast?
Oh,
You
wow.
know, we're just getting started.
Is it something we said
We've got so much more to unpack.
or really do?
Yeah. So you can keep asking questions and interacting on this. And the second capability I was talking about is the mind map capability, right? This is just 4 hours podcast, so many concepts being discussed. Again, each of these concepts are divided into section, subsection. Um, you can keep drilling and understanding and going to specifics of it until you want a specific sections clarity. You can hit on it. It'll provide you a little more about uh, monopolistic tendencies is what I've asked. It gave me a lot of uh, content exactly being discussed in the podcast. With the references, you can go to specific points. There's a link for you to refer, and if you don't save it, it doesn't save it. So you have to save the references that you want to refer later point of time. This is one capability, mind mapping, so useful. And the second section of it, I don't really know out of this four: study guide, briefing docs, timeline, FAQ, what it is, but we'll look at it. Let's look at the first one. I think it's a FAQ, right? It picks up the most interesting and important one, and there's a Q&A mode for you to come back and refer. Um, this is the first section, and let's see the second one. Second one, I think it's the detailed study note. It categorizes the important section into multiple categories. Again, good to come back and refer. Let's see the third one. Yeah. Um, it also has a really good information with the definition of um, the important concept being referred here. And let's look at the fourth one. Detailed timeline, right? It's 4 hours podcast, various timeline being referred. If you want to understand exactly in the chronological order of various timeline being referred, here it is. So good. And the cast of characters being referred, the books being referred, so on and so forth. So such a great resource with just a click of button is available for your consumption. So you can keep go back to the podcast, not just listen, but learn and refer wherever it's useful. Because I found this podcast so empowering. I had to come back and refer multiple points again and again. On top of this, if you have a particular question, you can ask here. It'll refer the podcast transcript and get you the answers. And one amazing other capability that I want to talk about is multiple languages it has. So you can go to output languages and you can set your language. It'll give you the and response in your language that you wanted. So this was my experiment from my earlier video. I've given the link of earlier video, asked it to generate the audio version of it. Just listen, it's really amazing, and this is what I've used to convert my podcast from English to Kannada.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಪರ್ಪ್ಲೆಕ್ಸಿಟಿ ಎಐಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರುವ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ
So clear. I was just taken back from its capabilities of not in English but the local languages as well. Google is probably making the best use of its resources. Yeah, um, and on top of this, the last one probably I'm going to discuss today is Discover page. So you can write, whatever the topic you want. Um, you don't really know where are the resources, but you want Notebook LM to help you with that. You just hit on this, and it'll give you all the possible sources of this information, and you can import it. That's what I did. Foundational reading on money and society from Michael Saylor. It get me all the possible sources instead of I'm researching the content and bringing it here. And that's another capability I just really loved here. So yeah, broadly, this is an attempt to show you how amazing Notebook LM is, its specific use cases where this can come handy and just augment your uh, capabilities in consuming a lot of resources and help you do much better than what you do normally. Thank you, everyone. Kindly like, subscribe, comment, share if you like the video.